being recorded whether or not the FBI likes it. Okay, I'm never deadlifting like this ever again. Disclaimer to all the conventional style deadlifting elitists. I don't give a fuck about your claim of sumo deadlift is cheating because, yeah, and this isn't to the guys who legitimately do conventional and don't really bug anybody out who does sumo, or even the dudes who like deliver wisecracks about sumo. Just a guy who legitimately believes sumo deadlifting is cheating. Get the fuck out of here. So first of all, what unspoken contest did we sumo deadlifters join in this sport of iron? I wasn't aware that I was cheating. It's like I wasn't aware that I was cheating in this unspoken contest. I'm a natural bodybuilder trying to get big, and you guys are like, "Oh my god, you're cheating!" Like what? What contest did we join to constitute that as cheating? I already made a video about why I thought the notion of sumo being, sumo as cheating was retarded as fuck. I'll leave a link to it below. But okay, now on to bigger things. I will never deadlift like this ever again. Now, what exactly do I mean by this? I'm referring to deadlifting sessions consisting of rep ranges that range from 10 to 12. Yeah, you heard it. I did deadlift sessions that range from 10 to 12. That sounds as ridiculous as it does. That's because your boy's insane. I acknowledge that I kind of like pain to a certain extent. I'm not a masochist, but I'll justify why I did that in the end, right? So, yeah, I implemented this training style for my second leg day of the week. To specify, as a natural bodybuilder, I have the mindset of applying a multitude of relevant rep ranges that range from anywhere between 3 to 15 reps. So, towards the beginning half of the week, I focus more on strength work for the compound movements of the bench press, rowing movements such as the T-bar row or barbell row, and yes, you guessed it, deadlift. So these rep ranges will range from 3 to 6 throughout the beginning of the week. Now, towards the end of the week, these same compound movements, I would apply a rep range of 10 to 12. So now this strength work is an appliance to, I can't read my own fucking notes anymore. Yeah, this just always happens. I can't read what the fuck I wrote. This chicken scratch shit. Yep. I'm super trash and read my own notes. So, yes. Now, I unfortunately applied the 10 to 12 rep range towards deadlifts. Now, I learned down the line that it was a great cardiovascular tax on my mental stamina, as well as my ability to recover promptly, like on weekends. On weekends, I would just be super sore, super lethargic. I wouldn't have the cognitive ability of even recognizing my own goddamn name. I mean that facetiously, of course. I don't mean that seriously, but it was super hard to get around. It's just like, holy hell. The state that I was in was strange. So after blasting my body with a difficult deadlift session of 4 sets of 10 reps on Saturdays, I was sore as fuck on Sundays and sluggish as fuck on I was sore as fuck on Sundays and sluggish as fuck on Sunday afternoons, right? And but for some reason for some strange reason, like being fucked up on Sundays, every Monday I'll just be fully recovered for some bizarre reason. It's like nothing happened. You're probably wondering, okay, Professor, or what's the what's the problem? It's no pain, no gain, right? Okay, the problem is, right, the problem is the complete unsustainability of applying the same training philosophy I have for compound movements as the bench press. I did it for deadlifts before I eventually paid the price of not recovering as quickly as I used to. Yeah, so my Saturday deadlift sessions evolved from doing 225 reps. So this is like we're talking after gyms open, right? It ranged from doing 225 pounds, of course, for four sets of 10 reps, right? Then it got to 315 for 4 sets of 10 reps. Then it got to 385 for 4 sets of 10 reps. It sounds cool, right? It sounds awesome. Like you're thinking, oh wow, you're evolving, you're getting stronger progressively on these hypertrophy movements, right? It sounds awesome until you consider the sheer cardiovascular strain you're adding to your central nervous system and your ability to recover and recuperate these muscle groups to blast them again. It's insane. It truly is. So you have to consider the rising cardiovascular strain along with the diminishing recovery. You know, the diminishing recovery these incremental increases in weight had on you, and your ability to recover, it's shit. You're gonna take much longer to recover. And don't get me wrong, my joints weren't compromised, and my overall structural integrity, as far as my central nervous system, my ability to actually focus on certain things, my ability to actually move around, and just taking a shit becomes much more fucking difficult. It might sound TMI. It's much more difficult when you're just constantly blasting the muscle, annihilating instead of actually stimulating it. And that's what I should have been focused on with these deadlifts. Yeah, so this abundant stimuli just wasn't worth it anymore. What is that called? The overall stress to fatigue ratio. No, the stimulus to fatigue ratio was shit. Yes, I was seeing a lot of stimulus, whatever, right? However, I wasn't recovering from it anymore. I wasn't. It just got to the point where I just remember that part where I told you guys that I was recovering fully on Mondays. The second I got close to a 400-pound deadlift for I was close to whatever. I started at 385. Right, the second I got to that was when I progressed a bit. I was getting progressively weaker. My strength day started to suffer. I wasn't getting stronger anymore. I wasn't fully engaged. My strength numbers just dwindled. My CNS was fried. My overall muscle group, it's if my muscles will recover. My CNS, my overall neurological pathways, it was fucked. I didn't have the confidence to lift that weight up for 10 reps anymore. Hell, even 449 for 3 reps for my strength days, that went the fuck away. Like that level of strength, it dwindled. I didn't have it anymore. I'm slowly building back up to it now, and I've recently managed to get 427 up for 3 reps. But that wasn't until I decided to just forego with that method of training. The method behind the madness of implementing a strength day at the beginning of the week and a hypertrophy day towards the end of the week was, of course, progression, to continue progression. Because, evidently as a natural bodybuilder, my main pursuit is size and aesthetics. However, your muscles will not expand by doing 15-pound curls for 15-pound curls for 25 reps. Your muscles are not going to build. You have to progressively get stronger in order to have those beautiful hypertrophy effects. There's no way in hell. It's like those calisthenic bros who go to the park all day long and they're doing push-ups all day and they expect to have big-ass, massive chests, big shoulders, whatever, right? However, their body eventually stagnates because you're not having an effective load. Your intensity is lagging. It's the lagging variable in the overall, and your stimulus is the overall lagging variable in this whole muscle building game. You don't have that, and that's why you need to progressively get stronger as a natural. Of course, that has limitations, of course, but this is why I implemented the strength and hypertrophy days, because when you stagnate in one, you progress in the other. Yeah. So the point of the strength day, of course, is, you guessed it, you build strength, getting stronger on these compound movements so that hypertrophy days feel like butter. And what was once big boy weight moves like baby weight. This carryover from strength to hypertrophy is imperative. Yeah, it's important because as you are granted this ability to perform weight of a once large magnitude for much more volume is correlated to overall tonnage. And more tonnage, of course, you guessed it, is more gains. So what was once heavy ass weight, because 315 used to be heavy ass weight for me. Now it's a fucking warm up, and it's liberating to say that. But I didn't get to that. I got to that being a warm up by working my way to forming these rep ranges for 10 reps. However, that of course had drawbacks in the end. That had drawbacks. I progressively decided, let's apply this towards heavier weight. And it'd be awesome to continue this modus operandi of training, but man, I have to forego this way of training because my body just can't recover from it anymore. And it sucks because I love burning the fuck out and laying all I have on the table. However, when you keep annihilating the muscles instead of stimulating the muscles, especially for lower body movements such as the deadlift, that's a super compound movement. The squat is one thing, the bench press is one thing, barbell is one thing. Deadlifts, you are incorporating so many muscle groups to this one movement. And the fact that I managed to work my way up to a 315, even a 385 deadlift, whatever, for 10 reps, it's mind-boggling. It's just it's awesome that I managed to do that, but however, however, like this progression is stifled. Like I can't do this anymore. It's just I realize that this shit hurts. It's painful. It's not painful from a joint perspective. It's painful from a CNS perspective. I can't recover as quickly as I used to anymore. It's just it's fucked. And yeah, you get pointers from people. You get pointers from people saying, "Wow, you're fucking strong," but deep inside you're like, "Yo, like I probably can't get this shit up for another goddamn one rep." Hold the hell on. What else did I write on here? This can't be the end of the goddamn video. This can't be the end of the fucking video. Come on. No, I wrote more. What the hell? Oh, okay, yeah. There's another page. Whoops. Okay, so I didn't always train like this for deadlifts. Now, I applied the 5x5 approach, but I eventually switched it up when gyms reopened, as I described earlier, right? And I decided what works for upper body days must work for lower body days, right? Well, fuck no. Well, to be fair, it did work up until a certain point, as I described earlier. The 315, it was liberating to get to from even 225. It was awesome to get from 225 to 315 to 385. Was it 385? Let me do some math right quick because I can't even. This is what happens when you're when you're so reliant on calculators. What is it? Yeah, it was 380 fucking 5. Yeah, so I was crazy enough to slap that much goddamn weight on the fucking bar and get it up for that much. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it really was 385 for 10 goddamn reps. My God. And yeah, so I tried. Let me move a little more close because I fucked my shit up. Yeah, so I tried so hard to hang on to this method that I ended up switching. And yeah, so I tried so hard to hang on to that method where I ended up switching to 315, only doing that for three sets of 10 because I was like, yo, my body can't do this shit anymore, right? 3 sets of 10, right? And then it got to a point where I was just sandbagging this weight. So this baby weight, this warm-up weight as described to you earlier, right? It's warm-up weight. So I was doing this warm-up weight for fucking 3 sets of 10, right? I felt like I wasn't really doing anything. And I felt as if, yo, like, let me go back to a simpler time when I just, like, to a much more simpler time when I did this weight for only 3 to fucking 5 reps, right? And then, lo and behold, I did it on Saturday recently, right? And it was just the most liberating experience ever because I realized that what worked 5 years ago may not work, may not apply right now. You're going to change. You're going to go through periods in your training regimen in which you realize that what works previously, you have to switch it up in order to end up making progress and not because I want to be in this game until I'm fucking, into my goddamn 80s. Hell, not whole into my fucking hundreds, right? I want to make it to, as long as I can. I don't want to add mileage on my fucking joints, mileage on my CNS, which I can't even be cognitive. I'm not cognizant of the world around me. I'm not, neurologically, I'm not fucking there at all because I'm just so beat the fuck up. I'm so strained. I can't even fucking draw anymore. Yeah, it got that bad that my weekends, which I was spending, because I'm called Professor R, right? This channel is called Professor R List, but I draw on the other channel, right? I couldn't even fucking draw anymore. I was so fucked up that I couldn't draw anymore. I was so messed up. So you guys, you gotta know when to balance all these things out and consider the risk reward ratio of a training method of an approach to training. This is why I'm not a conventional deadlifter. I picked sumo because my joints, my anthropology suits sumo much more than it does conventional, and I don't give a fuck what some pencil neck conventional deadlift motherfucker elitist says about it, saying, "Oh my god, you're cheating," and then they have a fucking back like a goddamn their back is flat. They don't have the craters and hills and valleys that actual legit bodybuilder backs have because they stay on conventional for so long. They don't do pull-ups. They don't do barbell rows. They don't do chin-ups. So their back just looks it looks unaesthetic as fuck. Like it looks flat and generic. Yeah, so I'm talking shit about the guys who are conventional elitists, not the guys who do conventional and genuinely just do whatever for fun. Like the elitists, the guys who just try to validate sumo and this unspoken dick measuring contest that we're all involved in. So yeah, moving forward, my current way of deadlifting is very reminiscent of how it all started. Basically, both days, as we like to say around here where I'm from, right? Both days have rep ranges that are from 3 to 5. With Wednesdays having 5 sets, while Saturdays only have 4 sets. I realize this works a lot better for me neurologically speaking, right? I tried it, I there's no point stating what I said previously, right? I did this. I applied this recently. My body feels awesome. I feel as if I have all the energy in the world. I could fucking jump over goddamn skyscrapers and punch holes in mountains. I feel awesome doing this way of training. And yes, admittedly, it was a bittersweet ending to leave my old ways behind. It sucked. It was liberating to deadlift 385 for 10 reps. It was fucking awesome. It was also making the goddamn ground shake. It was fucking cool. But deadlifting 405 and 449 for 3 reps, for 3 reps at least, that's just as awesome. That's just as awesome. It's not something I should be hell bent on trying to maximize in the sense of, oh, I have to apply the hypertrophy way of training towards deadlifts. No, it's all hypertrophy, guys. It's all hypertrophy. Yeah, so that's pretty much the end of the video. You don't have to apply the same rep ranges for certain muscle groups. It's not a one size fits all for these muscle groups. What works from one part of your body might not work for the other part of your body. So keep that in mind. Peace, guys.
Spartans, prepare for glory! That's what I do!